161, and on his right to make sure everything is spot on, Mr. Ram Mohan, the match referee. Esha, flip the coin. Heads is the call. Tails it is. Esha, you won the toss. What would you like to do and why?
We would like to bat first and put a score on the board.
Any particular reasons?
No, I think it looks like a good wicket. If we want to put a score on the board, then go out, defend it.
You already made your leg into the finale. What are you expecting out of this game?
Just want to get a good game out again in the middle. I think, yeah, we've made it to the final, but this game matters as well. I mean, all games matter. You want to go there without any losses and, yeah, just stay unbeaten in the tournament.
Certainly, momentum makes a big difference. Any changes in the side?
Yes, we do have 3 changes.
Good luck, Esha.
Thank you, sir.
Rasingika, toss not on your side. What would you have done? They're batting first.
We will do our best today. It's our last game. We will do our best today.
What do we expect from Bahrain today? You are not going to be qualifying to the finale, but it's the last league game.
Yeah, it's happened because of our performance. It's not well. That's the reason. And our batting, bowling, all the 3 part not well. That's why we didn't qualify. But easy game is our matches. All the matches is easy game. We are not doing our best.
Tell us about the number in your mind. They're going to be batting first. How much do you want to restrict them to?
Below 140.
Any changes in the side?
No, same team.
Good luck, Rasangika. So the news from the centre is that Rasangika Herat has lost the toss and UAE are going to be putting runs on board first.
A very bright sunny good afternoon from Oman Cricket Academy ground Muscat for the all-important Gulf Women T20I tournament. Match number 14. UAE has won the toss and they've elected to bat first. We are having our partner, Mr. Rizwan, joining us for the second time this morning. This afternoon rather.
Thank you very much. It's a beautiful sunny afternoon out at Oman Cricket Academy. The wicket looks good and winning the toss without any hesitation. Esha Oza, the skipper of UAE, has opted to bat first. They would like to put a good total on board, but what would remain the key is the power play.
So far, UAE unbeatable team in this tournament, dominating all 3 departments of the game, batting, bowling and fielding. And all important match today for them to get themselves into those batters who had not batted in the last matches, to get them through to this wickets behavior and how they will bat it, give them confidence for the grand finale to be played on tomorrow.
That's a very valid point that you've mentioned. You've qualified for the finals, and why not test your bench strength? It'll be interesting to see what they will plan out. It will be Esha Oza who will be facing the tunes of Pavitra Shetty, and Satish will keep Esha Oza the company.
Let us see what target UAE will give to Bahrain to chase on. All their batters are in supreme form, especially the captain Esha Oza, a brilliant all-rounder. Rizwan leading the team from the front.
Well, she's been indomitable, quite expressive with the bat as well as with the ball, and loves to perform under pressure. Play, says the umpire. Ball number coming your way.
Onto the back foot. Very first delivery cracks beautifully, but there is a fielder at the deep third man, rather it's extra cover. Stopped, 1 run. Right from the moment they go, intense looks to be good. They are looking for the runs.
Yeah, deep cover and long off was in place for Esha Oza, and the left-hand, right-hand combination for team UAE. Satish will be facing the first delivery. It'll be interesting to see what sort of field will they adapt for the left-hander. Just having a look at it, they've got, at the moment, they've got wideish long off and a backward point outside the 30-yard circle.
Well, all 9 fielders will be there in the power play. Only 2 have to be out of the circle. And we'll have to see this. Pavitra Shetty is a good bowler. She got some wickets to her credit in the last matches.
Good intent shown straight down the carpet. They will look for 2. and will get it quite comfortably. Well, the intentions are pretty much clear. Anything in the slot, they will ensure they will maximize on the opportunity.
They have scored 251 runs against Saudi, but other matches they have chased the runs and done in a quick succession. And this is the first time they are batting first, or rather second time after they batted against Saudi.
Full toss, straight down the ground. Will it be cut off? No, the first boundary on board for Team UAE.
Well, it's a beautifully played, picked the gap nicely behind the bowler. There was a great return by the fielder, but couldn't prevent the boundary. Through her, it will be 4 runs.
It was hit with some brute force there, straight down the ground. Should have been stopped. Just could not hold on to it. First boundary for Team UAE. First boundary for Satish. And immediately you can see the change in the field. Now they've got long on and long off outside the 30-yard circle and a packed offside field for Satish.
John flicked away beautifully off the toes. Going towards the boundary. Seems to be another boundary. Beautifully played. Flick off the toes. 4 more runs to the total and 4 more to Satish.
This is a very good start for Team UAE. That should have been chased down. Just could not get there on time. And she's manipulating with the field is Satish. And Team UAE are off to a flyer.
Well, contrary to Esha, who always used to get boundaries earlier, it is Satish who is taking the cue from her and playing some superb boundaries. One of the last one played out to the long on. Once again on the toes, played it out towards the short square leg.
Well, the idea will be very much simple. They need to lay the foundation in the power play. They've got batting, they bat deep Team UAE, and the onus will be on the batters of the UAE initially to maximize as much as possible in the power play.
Absolutely. Runs are required. This time, beautifully played once again. Slight misfield, the fielder, and it resulted in the single. So end of a very, very good over for UAE. It is 12 for no wicket. Esha Oza is going to bowl the second over from Bahrain. I'm sure you must be looking for a very, very huge total for Bahrain to chase. They have not exposed the middle order batter or the later order batsman so far. Maybe today time have come for sure entire brand they have got in the batting lineup.
This is what happens, especially when you're chasing down small totals, when you are the top batters finishing off jobs for you. But in a crunch situation, it could backfire. Another boundary. Satish is putting up a show here. Pyrotechnics on display in broad daylight.
Absolutely. Perfect timing. Piercing the gap between cover and extra cover. Satish showing her class as a great batter. Look at that one. Just standing, open the face of the bat and just pierce the gap between cover and extra cover. So runs are coming in bulk for UAE.
Everything right about that shot. The head position, The way she's maneuvering and playing with the field is quite impressive. And meanwhile, the fielders of Bahrain are feeling the heat. And the good thing about the batters of UAE as well, they're quite quick between the wickets. They ensure anything, if there is an opportunity to pick up that single, they ensure they steal them comfortably.
Absolutely. They do the most experienced team in this tournament, Rizwan, to be honest with you. They are playing so much cricket throughout the year in UAE. And that virtue of that, they were the top team in UAE.
But they've been traveling all over the entire team of UAE. They were recently in Thailand, then also in Zimbabwe. You're absolutely right. They've been playing a lot of cricket, different formats, not just the shortest format, even the longer format of the game. And I quite appreciate the fact the way they get adjusted to the various formats. More or less, it's the similar team, but it's the approach. And I think they've done extremely well.
I asked this question to Esha at the presentation time that you have the most experienced team with you. How this tournament, Gulf women, how you take this tournament, because not that much, what you're competitive to your standards. And she said, no, we take it very seriously this time. Flicked it up beautifully once again. Through to the mid-wicket boundary. And runs are leaking everywhere in this ground.
Well, they're certainly flowing like a stream of river at the moment. Tirtha, Satish leading from the front, while Esha Oza is playing the second fiddle. Another one in the slot. There was a bit of seam movement, but nicely guided towards the onside for a boundary. UAE are up and running.
Absolutely brilliant stuff from Satish. All the shots she has played, absolute cricketing shot. Picking up the gap nicely, timing the ball well from the middle of the bat. That's the quality of her so far. Outside the off stump. And this time the fielding of Bahrain is not standard at all. Fumbling, giving chances to getting run in each and every ball.
And then ensuring they're picking up those singles despite getting those boundaries. They're just making sure they're keeping the scoreboard ticking with the boundaries and the singles and not allowing any dot deliveries whatsoever. Well, as a skipper, Rasangika Herat, she'll have to wear her thinking cap on and produce something special to break this partnership.
I think might be she's bringing the spinners on. This time once again, straight to the hands of the feeder, had shot mid off, but still they managed to get the single. Running between the wicket is extremely well. End of over number 2. This is 24 for no wicket UAE. Pavita Shetty continued to bowl the third over of the innings. She has got 12 runs in the very first over. So I think she will try to come back and try to stop the flow of runs from both these batters, Esha and Satish. Shot, played it out towards the cover point boundary. Once again fumbled, a single run.
What we've also noticed is the fielders who are in the circle are coming from the edge of the boundaries. Not much of pace on offer from the bowlers. All Esha was doing is just tapping it and picking up that single quite comfortably, letting Tirtha Satish take the strike. I would rather have them a little bit closer just to negate that single. Different plans in place from the team Bahrain.
No, they have to work hard, absolutely. Once again, played it out nicely towards the mid-on. They're looking for two, but wildly sent back by Esha.
Yeah, you don't need to afford a casualty at the moment. At the moment, they're striking well. You can afford to have those singles as you're off to a flyer. And rightly so, denied by Esha Oza. Enjoys her cricket. In every single department, she's been phenomenal. She has been the influential catalyst for Team UAE.
Flicks away once again. I think from the pads looks to be. I'm sure there must be some changes in the batting order of UAE. And in one match, she brought Dharnidharka at number 3. One of the best bowlers in this tournament, pacer. She scored about 60 odd runs.
Well, this is what happens when you have a good pool of players available for you. It's a good headache to have when the skipper can pick and choose as per the match situation. Well, it might be possible that they might make some changes with the batting order just to make sure they get that game time going before the grand finale.
Obviously, those batters who have not batted in this tournament so far because they didn't have much resistance, much totals on the board to chase on. Tap and run, tap and run. That is the technique of the current day's T20 cricket, even T10 also.
And I think she's applying herself really well there, Esha Oza, just letting Tirtha, Satish hold as much as strike as possible. And especially when you have a batter of such caliber who's in good nick, why not let her take the lead role whilst you can play the second fiddle.
Once again, full face of the bat. Place it out too long off for the single. Another good over for UAE. 3 overs done. 30 for no wicket UAE. Change in the bowling? No. It is still Rachel D'Souza. Over pitch, played it out towards wider mid-on.
Well, the wicket also looks good, Jamil. And if you hit the right areas, if you hit the deck hard, there will be that purchase off the surface. And Rachel D'Souza does have that ammunition with her. She just has to come up with a plan to get the better of Tirtha Satish.
Outside the office term once again, played it out with full force of the bat this time. Finally got a single. Well, I think the plan is that to go for runs almost each and every delivery. If not boundary, at least one run should come.
They've not had many dot balls so far. Just that few of them, couple of them in fact. Keeping things simple, keeping things straight. Esha Oza, 7 of 7. Tirtha Satish playing a blinder, 24 of 13 for her.
Shot onto the back foot. couldn't pierce the field right now on this delivery from Esha.
It was a long hop, but aiming towards the fourth stump channel, didn't quite time it well straight to the fielder, taking her time, and you can afford to do that.
The first delivery which has been bowled beautifully outside the off stump, beaten the batter.
There was seam movement on that as well. More going away from the batter, Esha Oza. Swing in the air. Balls with military medium pace. Rachel D'Souza gave away 12 runs in the first over. Was come back really strong. 3 dot deliveries in this over, keeping a lid on the scoring.
Good comeback from her. Once again, smashed it this time. Toward the cow's corner, 4 runs, beautifully struck.
A juicy full toss on offer. And Esha Oza in one such batter who will punish you all day, all night long. Easy pickings and a boundary for Esha Oza. Just when we thought they were managed to put a lid on the scoring this over, Esha comes up with a boundary.
Coming down the wicket this time, over the head of the bowler. But not quite proper hold on it. Skied more in the air rather than with the shot he played.
There was an opportunity created by Rachel D'Souza. Just could not latch on to it. It could have been casualty number 1. 4 overs gone, 36 for none.
The first change from the Oman tail end, it is Sadam Ali Bakshila, a good spinner. Got some wickets in this tournament. Placed once again, but they're not interested to get a run. Bakshala will continue to bowl. A good over she bowled the last one, not letting the batters come on to her. Outside the off stump, quicker one this time. Uza tried to cut it, but goes to the keeper.
You just have to be mindful when you're playing off the back foot. Chances that there could be a feather edge out to the keeper. Bakshila has been impressive.
Score is so far so good for UAE. 8.43 is the run rate right now. This time the wayward outside the off stump. That's the time, when the bowler is not getting the line. It frustrated them. She bowled well in the last over, so hope to come back again with some good delivery, slow of the spinners. This time, right in the middle of the wicket. Brilliant. Once again, there is a fumble, and they go for 2 runs.
It should have been just one there. A couple of runs added to the tally. Esha Oza also looking good, taking her sweet time, and which she can afford to do so. With wickets in hand, you can always break down it into multiple phases. And I reckon they have a target in mind. By 10th over, they've got to be somewhere close to that 90-run mark.
Once again, open the face of the bat. But they crossed over the single.
Where you've been calling the games here, Jamil, if you could let us know which batter or top 3 batters who have impressed you the most in this ongoing GCC Cricket Championship.
Without any thinking, one is Zifa Jilani of Kuwait, and second is Isha. And of course, Satish also.
Yeah, I got to hear that Rasangika Herat from Pranav from the backdrop. Absolutely quite impressive throughout the series. And I like the way they take it further. Meanwhile, wayward delivery and will find the fence.
Yes, I absolutely missed that brilliant batter from Bahrain, the captain, Rasangika Herat. Absolutely, and of course the Oman 2 batters, Jai Dhania and Nitya Joshi. You name about 5, 6, 7 batters come out straight away in my mind.
I was wondering why you were not mentioning about the Omani batters.
No, we're talking about the one, you're talking about the top one. That's what I'm looking for.
They definitely pack a punch, absolutely right. The Omani batters as well played away quite comfortably with ease. And what I quite like about the approach and the way she scores those runs effortlessly, Tirtha Satish.
It all comes from the experience, Rizwan. They do have vast experience of playing different countries, different nationalities, different bowlers, different what you call players. So that confidence gives them the way they like to play, especially in this particular tournament. They seems to be the top team.
Another wayward delivery that will have to be reloaded and extra runs as well. And the ball will find the fence. 5 wides. Well, this is going to be a tough phase for the bowlers of Bahrain. Just missing out on the line and length on that occasion.
It is always like that when you are, this outside, totally outside the office term. Wicketkeeper also could not hold it. So 5 extras to the total. Things if not going well in your way, sometimes those things that happen.
No, absolutely. When the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Straight down the ground. No damage done on that occasion. End of over number 7. UAE are 67 for none.
Sadamali Bakshala will continue to bowl her 3rd over. And so far so good. It is Gajanaike change in the bowling from the Oman LNGN. Once again, easily placed out for the single.
Tharanga Gajanayake has been introduced into the attack. Another spinner in operation, bowling in tandem. I would definitely want to get your ideas and views, Jamil. You've played first-class cricket back home in Pakistan. I would want to understand from your standpoint how cricket has evolved and changed drastically from those days to now.
It is 360% you can say about that. Those time we were playing. Yes, ODI was there, but no T20. Things absolutely changed. So quick is now cricket change everywhere. Down the leg side, once again, bad delivery. It's something, dreams go out of your mind when you see the cricket of current area, not the one which we have in 80s and early 90s.
There's so much of cricket going around. We were talking about the Ashes that is going on in Australia. We're talking about the Under-19 Asia Cup happening in UAE, the Gulf Cricket Championship happening here. There's so many bilateral series also, the associate nations, well, the full member nations as well. So there's so much of cricket going on, and talking about the techniques as well, the approach also. And I think in the process, Satish might have to walk back. Esha Oza was trying to hit down the ground, and in the process, Taranga got her feet, which went on to hit the timber.
Absolutely, it's disastrous for the Satish. Look at that one. Isa hit it brilliantly, stuck to the foot and rattled the stumps, whereas Satish was out of her crease. A very bad moment. How much she will be feeling going out in this way to the back to the dugout.
Absolutely unlucky. Absolutely unlucky. She was inching close to her personal milestone. She was definitely out of the crease. It's just that they just want to ensure that the ball did hit her feet in the follow-through. At the moment, she's been asked to wait. It's been referred upstairs. Probably a different camera angle would give us the feedback.
Now the DRS, Nick Sense will let us know what exactly happened. But surely she was out of her crease. Oh, came on the bottom of the feet, but touched or not. I'm sure it must have touched her foot.
But there is some deviation there for sure. And that could be what the umpires would be looking at, or will there be a benefit of doubt? We'll get to know.
Beautiful visual, absolutely thrilling. Look at that one, how nice it has been done. Yeah, seems to be got a touch. Nick Sense will sense whether it was, wow, lucky escape.
Well, there you go. The technology says it all. We're in the modern era. Satish had to head back to the dugout. Wicket number 1 for team UAE falls at 70.
So I was talking about this. Dharnidharka once again brought at number 3. She scored 60 runs, odd runs. And the combination of Esha Oza and Dharnidharka, they have a lot of runs together in the last outing they have played together in the same tournament. So joining me at the right time, Pranav, 71 for 1 UAE, and Dharnidharka and Esha on the bat.
I've been mighty impressed by Samara Dharnidharka. It all started with her bowling, but then she did win the player of the match in the previous game because of that brilliant knock with the bat. Very calculative, not a big slogger, but she does hit the ball very hard. And that's why she sealed that number 3 spot for UAE Women's.
The moment you said it was a slog from Isha towards the cow's corner, got a single on it. But what brilliant batting she has done. She and Oza in the last outing, both of them, she's scoring around 60. And Dharnidharka scored around 70 in that match.
Eight overs done. 72 for the loss of one UAE as Samara Dharnidharka, 18 years of age, comes to the middle. It's going to be very exciting outing for UAE. They're into the finale, and that's where they would want to prove a point. They would want to give their players a much needed match practice. Very quick on her feet, Samara Dharnidharka. Just 18 years of age, and look at the quality, look at the potential, look at the talent. Full toss, heaved on the leg side, fielder in the deep. It's only going to be a single. I think it's going to be a contention for a no ball as well. That's going to be interesting. Confirmations, it's going to be a no ball. Ranavaka, Sudeshika Ranavaka provides a freebie, and Esha Oza is going to accept it with two hands.
Well, definitely she was looking for it. Could have been a boundary, but I think she couldn't get the placement. It's a free hit as well. How much maximum? Once again, it's a full toss. Play it out toward the long off.
"21 of 24, not a lot of pace on offer for Esha Oza. Heaved on the leg side. Some good fielding. I think it is Taranga Gajanaike at short fine. So a dot ball.
Finally, some good fielding from Bahraini feeders. These were stuck very hard, but very nicely fielded by Taranga at short square leg. Try to sweep it, makes no contact. So good over from Ranavaka.
Now, Jamil bhai, don't forget that we are going to be making the team of the tournament between the three of us. Poor delivery, pitched outside the wicket, will be called a no ball, and it's going to be a freebie this time for Samara. Loves to use those long levers, and that's the authority, permission to Samara. Do so at will.
Isha failed now on what Samara is going to do. Good comeback by the bowler. Saves the free hit and get off to a single on it.
Sudeshika Ranavaka, 5 runs of this over so far, with the ball to spare, and a good delivery will allow them to scamper just for a single. So 6 runs from that over from Sudeshika Ranavaka. 9 overs done, 78 for the loss of 1 UAE. Taranga Gajnaike will continue from the Oman LNG end. Trying to hit it big, not able to make an impact. Esha Oza. Now this is an important fact. Rasangika Herat leading the runs chart. 196 runs in this entire tournament. She'll add on to that and get to 200 plus in the second innings. Zifa Jalani, I don't think she's going to feature. Catching opportunity, not really. This is going to be a single. I think she's done and she is on the second spot with 153. Esha Oza, she's just gone past 150 runs and I think she's captured that second position now. The stats will get edited. Jayadanya Gunasekar, who is going to be featuring tonight, is at 147. Nitya Joshi is at 111. She would want to add on to that. And Samara Dharnidharka. This is the main reason I was looking to talk about is Samara Dharnidharka. 103 runs. And she's adding on to that on the back of one innings. She's standing in that list at number 6. She will climb onto that ladder as well. So a lot of close contests in the batting department.
Swept it, but not with the power. Beautifully played. This we're talking about. From outside the off stump, from the middle of the bat to the cow's corner, the boundary after a long, long haul.
What's so elegant about Esha Oza is that she can manufacture a shot out of nothing. It was outside the off stump. Most people would have driven it through the covers. Not Esha Oza. Plays a slog sweep towards the cow corner. Shuffles across. Square drive. Won't get runs on this occasion though.
Contrary to the other innings Esha Oza has played, this is a bit what you call not a very good knock from her so far.
Such is the standard set by Esha Oza, 29 of 29. And still we suggest it's not good enough. That is the quality of Esha Oza. Make it 31 of 30. She can finish and she can finish off well. But at the moment, I think it's time for both the sides to take a little bit of breather. It's time for drinks. 10 overs done, 88 for the loss of 1 UAE. Samara Dharnidharka, 4 of 9. She's yet to get going. Esha Oza, 31 of 30. But all of that doesn't matter because UAE are well placed at 88 for the loss of 1 at the halfway mark. It is going to be Sudeshika Ranawaka to continue from the Oman tail end. They'll scamper for a quick single.
It's a good delivery from her. She came down the wicket, but last over changes her mind to play and go for the run.
We've spoken about the batting. Bowling is even more closely contested. In the air, lot of height, not a lot of distance. But wide long off means that it's only going to be a single.
Couldn't time it properly, I think. Just take more height. Could have been a boundary, but actually timing was not perfect on this particular shot.
Once again, trying to play it across the line. I think she's looking to force the proceedings, and that's what is not working in her favor, Samara. She's a young talent, young kid. She'll only learn with time.
Well, she has already scored so many runs in the last match, and also beautiful bowling, quick, fast bowling from her. Finally, once again, a run denied.
Now Priyanka Mendonca is leading that list with that 4-wicket haul that she achieved day before yesterday. She's got 7 wickets in this tournament so far. Big shot, lot of height once again, not a lot of distance. Doesn't attempt a catch at long on, and that's where Esha Oza is still going to be there in the middle.
Well, absolutely outstanding bowling from Priyanka Mendonca in the last match. Excellent figures. Really took the match away from Kuwait with her brilliant left arm orthodox slow spinners. Time to the cover, brilliantly played now. But the sweeper cover is there.
Now Priyanka Mendonca is well followed by Michelle Botha, who's at 6 wickets. 11 overs done, 92 for the loss of 1 UAE. There's also Esha Oza, who is at 6 wickets. Both of them would want to improve on their performance and steal that number 1 position from Priyanka. And then you have Maria Teresa Jacob at 6 wickets. Shashikala Silva of UAE, she's at 5 wickets. Mariam Umar at 5 wickets. Aisha at 5. Sudeshika Ranawaka 5. Rasangika Herat at 5. And then Samara Dharnidharka at 4. Induja Nandkumar at 4. Vaishnavi Mahesh 4. Lot of UAE and lot of Bahrain in that 5 and 4. That's where it's a game between two sides that bowl really well. Yes, batting a little advantage, a little too big an advantage for UAE. But bowling, Bahrain does pick up wickets and so does UAE.
A great comeback by the Bahraini bowlers, and they really strangled the hold on the UAE batters. At one stage, runs were flowing out, but now I think only singles are coming up. Talking about the bowling, I think Priyanka has all the records in her favor. Absolutely brilliant bowling from her. Especially the last match they have played against Kuwait. It was totally outstanding. And of course, we have seen some good bowling also from Esha Oza.
When you can play shots like that, you don't need to be playing it across the line. Play through the covers. Yes, a little bit of a misfield in the deep, but Samara Dharnidharka is a player to watch out for. She's just in her early days and she's impressing one and all. In the air on this occasion, run out opportunity. Required a direct hit. Esha Oza puts in a full stretch dive.
We haven't seen any boundaries in the last couple of 2 overs from these two. And this is what gives that Bahraini bowlers are doing well, apart from the fielding. That also improved a bit in the last couple of overs. Not giving too much runs. Of course, saving a couple of boundaries as well.
Played straight through the line. Long off is very wide, and that's where Samara Dharnidharka is going to accumulate. Or I beg your pardon, it's Esha Oza on this occasion who's going to accumulate 4 runs.
He's a powerful batter. All the power behind this shot, you know, slightly short of the length outside the off stump, cracks it. Nobody can move from her positions, and it's 4 runs to her.
Played in a brilliant fashion. Esha Oza to start off that shuffle was very special, and then to keep the posture very straight on, not losing the shape, and still to hit it with the straight bat. I think Esha has done incredible.
She came down towards the offside, picked up beautifully to the cow's corner. We're talking about the runs now start coming from her bat.
She's cut loose. Once again, shuffled across the off stump. This time it's only going to be a single. Samara was pushing for the second, but don't think they're going to be going for it. An expensive over from Taranga Gajnaike comes to an end. 12 overs done, 108 for the loss of 1 UAE. Hit through the line once again. Although on this occasion, long off is a little straighter, and that's where it's only going to be a single. That's exactly what I was about to say. But a little bit of an overthrow, and Samara pushes Esha Oza into the second.
Well, of course, the fielding is not up to the standard as far as the Bahraini fielders are concerned. We have seen some improvement in the last couple of overs. Now she's toying the Bahraini bowlers. This time came totally out of the wicket, outside the off stump. Leave the wickets apart for the bowler to hit.
Called as buys. Don't forget, this is the same fashion in which Esha Oza got out a couple of days ago. I think it was against Saudi Arabia. She was batting at 70. Now she's at 45. Hit straight down the line. Ample protection means only a single. So it's very clear. UAE are not going to be playing second fiddle anymore. They've cut loose and they're looking to get boundaries here.
Of course, yes, I think the bowlers all not doing well. Not supported by the fielders. This time once again open the face of the bat. This time nicely stopped and got off to a single.
What Sudeshika Ranawaka has done well is that she's kept the ball full. That's not allowed both these batters to play cross. And protection in the deep, straight down the wicket. Although on this occasion the commentator's curse comes into play. Slides on the leg side. Samara Dharnidharka goes down on one knee and sweeps it. Accumulates 4 runs.
Right from the middle of the bat this time. Going down the leg side, sweeps it through the square leg boundary. So good runs coming from the UAE batters.
Jamil, I wonder what it is. You just can't appreciate a player. As soon as you do that, there's probably some kind of connection. That player falters and the blame comes on to the commentator. wide. So Deshika in a little bit of a mix.
Well, I don't know how it goes when the commentators say that the batter is playing so well, nearing her 50, and suddenly she got out. We have seen 3 occasions in the last couple of days.
Truly, that's my point of consideration. We'll talk more about it. 13 overs done, 119 for the loss of 1 UAE, and it's time for change in voices. Change in attack. Rasangika Herat comes into the attack, and with that change in voices, Rizwan, all the way from UAE, makes his way into Oman. Rizwan, how is Oman treating you?
Well, absolutely brilliant. Loving the atmosphere here. The weather is brilliant. Bit hot and humid in the afternoon, but I would tell you something. I'm enjoying my time out here. And thank you for the sumptuous meal that you've provided. I did have a good time.
Hospitality is all what Oman is all about. And if I don't do it right, a lot of people will be behind me. What a strike. Esha Oza gets to a 50 in style. Hit it straight through the line. Will raise her bat. She's a consistent performer for UAE. And she's not going to be missing out on this opportunity.
Well, absolutely brilliant from Esha Oza, leading from the front. And what a knock she's played. Initially, she was playing that second fiddle. But after the departure of Tirtha Satish, she's taken that responsibility and gets another half century to her name.
Goes on the back foot, pulls it well. One thing that UAE would want to consider is that running between the wickets, they haven't been the best. The best side for running between the wickets has been Oman. Although the striking capabilities, UAE are far ahead.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's one area, as you rightly pointed out, they will definitely try to iron out and come back stronger in the future assignments as well. But I quite like the way they've set it up. Whenever the youngsters have been given the opportunity, especially talking about Dharnidharka, she's taken that and she's cemented herself into the team.
Big shot straight down the ground. Once again, it's only going to be a single, and they wouldn't mind it. Rasangika Herat contending for the player of the tournament. What a talent she is. Age is just a number for her. 42, 43 years of age, but fit as ever.
Goes towards along the carpet. It'll just be a single to conclude over number 14. UAE are 127 for 1.
Sadam Ali, Bhagshala. 2 overs, 21 runs is what she's conceded. Shoveling across the line. I think she's got a little bit of bat onto that and could be a drop catch for the wicketkeeper.
But she peppers the onside field, Esha Oza. We've seen her shuffling towards the offside, trying to fabricate shots towards the cow corner and mid-wicket region.
Through the offside on this occasion, a little bit of a misfield. Everything is coming from the meat of the bat for Esha Oza.
And when you get those shots right of the sweet spot, Pranav, it will give you a lot of confidence going into the innings. And I quite like the way she's accelerated. She's trying to shift gears now.
Over covers. Not enough legs means it's just going to be a single. This is where I want UAE to be a little better. There is always a second in that.
Absolutely. The running between the wickets, that's one area they've got to work on. It was away from the fielder at long off region. Could have always been a 2.
Hit straight as an arrow. The ball does travel from the bat of Esha Oza. She's got past 50 and ever since that she's been very dominating, very aggressive. And at that moment she's being very lethal against Bahrain.
Well, the sound said it all. It was right off the meat of the bat. And look at the power that she's generated out of it. And it has reached the fence in no time. This is brilliant display of batting from Esha Oza.
And then when you can bat like that and hold on that posture, it's a delight for the cameraman as well.
Oh, absolutely. Giving that pose, showing the maker's name, Esha Oza, definitely putting up a show. But the main goal is to conquer the championship tomorrow for her.
Talking about maker's name, where are the sponsors? UAE? The captain of UAE can never be without a sponsor's name on the bat. Wonder what's happening.
Single on that occasion to close out the over. 15 gone, 134 for 1.
Rasangika Herat versus Esha Oza. Two players who are contending for the player of the tournament. Which way is it going to be going?
We'll have to wait and watch for sure. But Rasangita Herat, she's been quite impressive with the bat as well as with the ball. And as you guys rightly mentioned earlier on, age is just a number for her. She's absolutely fit. Has been contributing significantly towards Bahrain cricket. Another tossed up delivery, enticing the batter to go after that mid-wicket region. Well, what Bahrain needs at the moment are wickets.
I feel that if Rasangika Herat can manage to pick up a couple of wickets in this contest, don't think she's going to be having any more opportunity. And then get a few runs batting second, I think she'll make a good case for herself.
Oh, absolutely. She's been phenomenal in the field as well. A gun fielder, Rasangika Herat, hails from Sri Lanka. Walks down the surface, didn't quite time it. Inside edge, straight to the fielder at fine leg. A rare dot delivery. They're on course to a good score here, Pranav. Must be eyeing close to 175, 180.
On a rare occasion, I beg to differ. I think if they don't get close to 200, they'll be mighty disappointed because strokes like that are going to be on offer from the bat of Esha Oza. She means business here. She would want to get to that 3-figure mark.
Oh, easy pickings. Another tossed up delivery in her hitting arc. And all she had to do is just guide it straight down the ground. Well, she's definitely putting up a show here yet again for Team UAE.
Through the covers on this occasion. This one will get to the boundary once again. Esha Oza is in a hurry here. And Bahrain is paying the price for it.
2 boundaries on the trot. Rasangika not happy with the effort in the field. It was a long hop directed towards the extra cover region. I should have been stopped. Must be exasperating for the bowlers, especially when those boundaries are not stopped.
With that, Esha gets to 190 tournament runs. Hit straight as an arrow. Probably could have got a little bit of hand onto it. Rasangika Herat. But those are bullets flying from the bat of Esha Oza. Will get only a single. 16 overs done, 146 for the loss of 1 UAE. With the 68 runs from Esha Oza, she is the highest tournament scorer for this particular tournament. 197 runs for her.
And there you have it, the stats man with his stats updating you instantly as she goes past Rasangika. Shuffles and the ball will find the fence. Another boundary for Team UAE. And 200 runs up for Esha Oza in this tournament.
Shuffling across. Does eye that there is nobody behind square on the leg side, and Esha Oza, if she can get a little bit of bat onto it, it's always going to be a boundary, and that's exactly what she's done. 72 on the board for her. 150 for UAE. Probably could have been a little bit of an outside edge once again this time.
Well, the skipper will have to do something special. And quite like the way she scores her runs. If you look at the run map of Esha Oza, she's got those runs from all corners of the park. Yes, she peppers the onside boundary, but she's got those runs from all corners of the park.
Samara Dharnidharka for the very first time, innovation on offer, looking to play the reverse sweep. Or was it Esha Oza? I beg your pardon.
Esha Oza trying to be innovative on that occasion, looking for the ramp shot, and in the process straight to the fielder. 2 dot deliveries on the trots.
Heaved on the leg side. There is protection in the deep. Who's just going to be a spectator. Esha Oza is rushing through the proceedings, and at the moment Bahrain have no answer to it.
Well, the ball was travelling at the speed of light on that occasion. Shuffles, waits for it, and the fractional adjustments that she does is quite impeccable. Look at that shot. Waited for it, and she exactly knew where the fielder was placed, and she's found another boundary.
Once again, shuffles across the stumps, trying to play a sweep, not able to connect, and hence it's going to be byes, signaled by the umpire.
What would you do? What would you do, Pranav, if you're the skipper of Bahrain in such situations when Esha Oza is dominating?
As simple as it gets. Deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long on, long off. Ask the bowler to bowl full on the stumps.
There you have it. That's the advice from Pranav, and I fully echo with you on that because she loves playing on the onside. Another single to close out the over. 17 gone, 156 for 1.
Taranga Gajnaike, Samaira Dharnidharka, who was away from strike for a very long time, gets an opportunity and they scamper for a single. I think that's the right approach. She needs to get Esha Oza back on strike for the remaining 17 deliveries.
17 legal deliveries left. They would like to go past that 180 figure mark. 76 of 57 Esha Oza. Quite like the way she's accelerated her strike rate and goes aerial yet again. And the fielder will cut it off. Couple of runs added to the tally.
And this is why this is a very good ploy. If they can have everybody inside the circle on the offside, it's very difficult to be playing inside out if you're not a regular connector of the ball.
Oh, absolutely. Gajanaike in the slot, and it has been hammered. One bounce into the fence.
But then when you can play shots like that, you don't need to utilize the offside. Everything comes from the middle of the bat for Esha Oza. On this occasion, a little bit of shuffle towards the offside. Gets underneath the ball, tonks it through the line. The wake in cow corner. It's a testament that Esha Oza is in prime form.
A lot of real estate on offer on the onside. And she cashes in on that opportunity. Couple of runs. There should have been a single, and the batter scampered through for a couple of runs quite comfortably.
She's eyeing that three-figure mark, 84 of 60. 16 is what is required. She has 14 deliveries to do so. If she can get majority of the strike. Even on the leg side, once again, finds the gap. Should go for a couple of runs. Samara doesn't respond and hence it's only a single. This is poor running.
This is exactly what Pranav was talking about earlier on. The running between the wickets. Yes, you're getting those boundaries at regular intervals, but those singles and doubles also will add on to the tally. Delayed approach from Samaira on that occasion.
Looks for a big shot, finds the gap. It was almost a free hit, considering that it was a final delivery of the over. Esha Oza should have been on the strike for the next over. That's exactly what is going to be happening.
Very easy pickings. Gets the connection absolutely spot on. And a boundary to close out the over. UAE are on a roll. 18 gone, 170 for 1.
Pavitra Shetty, odds in line. Very much of a tired approach from Pavitra Shetty.
Yeah, completely wavered on that occasion. You've got to bowl the right channel, especially in the death overs. You can't afford to have those extras. 12 legal deliveries left. 29 is the figure that UAE would be looking for.
Inside out, gets good bat onto it. The fielder was interested for majority part. I think she was in control to hold on to that one. And she's only managed to deflect it over the ropes.
First maximum for Esha Oza. Yet again coming right of the meat of the bat. Easy pickings. What a start to the over. She's definitely inching close towards the century part.
Really feel as if this is going to be a very big over. Pace on offer. Hit through the line. They have to be pushing for the second. Samara Dharnidharka is quick, but she doesn't intend to.
Well, it's been the top order who has done bulk of scoring for Team UAE. Samaira, Esha Oza, Tirtha, Satish, they all have contributed significantly.
Urs in line. Pavitra Shetty will have to bowl that once again.
We're just trying to be away from the hitting arc of Samaira, and in the process generating those extras, not helping the cause.
Full toss. Misfield at covers. They will get a couple of runs, and that will keep Esha Oza away from strike. So I think this is a good result for Bahrain.
Yeah, not really. She doesn't really bother about her personal numbers, Esha Oza, and rightly so. They were 2 on offer. Quickly to respond was Esha.
$11 runs off this over. Make it 12 as Esha Oza gets back on strike.
All eyes on Esha. Inching close. 8 is what she would be looking at. Pavitra Shetty. Can she find a way to pick up a wicket here?
Has to be looking for a boundary here, Esha Oza. Dancing down the track, hit straight as an arrow. This ball is travelling very quickly towards the boundary. Esha Oza means business. She's in a hurry, she's in a rush, and she's making it happen here at the Oman Cricket Academy.
Absolutely good looking shot yet again from Esha Oza. Straight down the ground, as easy as you like. Using the surface, walking down the wicket. Look at that shot. Perfect.
She's just recently completed 3,000 international runs in T20Is. Inside out on this occasion. Can it go to the boundary? It'll be just stopped inside the boundary. Samaira Dharnidharka is pushing Esha Oza for the third. She's very quick between the wickets. So Esha Oza will get to 99.
Brilliant work in the field. They managed to stop that single. Could have been a boundary. Esha Oza is on a roll. That will get us to the end of over number 19. And the good thing for UAE is Esha Oza will be Samaira on strike. Esha Oza on strike, I beg your pardon.
Rasangika to Esha Oza, and Esha Oza will get there. A drive to long off. She will get there. It is 100 for Esha Oza. She's a star of UAE. She's just completed 3,000 runs. And here at the Oman Cricket Academy, she loves this venue. She's got that 158 not out, the third highest individual total. And now Esha Oza is going to be adding another 100 to her tally.
What a knock it has been. Leading from the front is the skipper of UAE, Esha Oza, putting up a show here. A century to her name. This is brilliant batting.
Driven through the covers, Samaira Dharnidharka, she's seen enough, she's supported enough, and now is the time for her to capitalize and capitulate on the situation.
We're cashing on the opportunity. Walking down the wicket yet again, picking up a boundary. Samaira joins the party. It's all happening here for the team UAE.
It's still possible. It's still possible. 34. 16 for Samara. It's going to be difficult. Just 4 deliveries remaining. Rasangika Harat is a handy bowler. Can she? Hops on the back foot. It's going to be just a single.
Well, what I quite like about Esha Oza leading the team, you've got that extra responsibility on your shoulders as a skipper. Then you contribute with the bat, you contribute with the ball, and also in the field. A complete 3-dimensional cricketer is Esha Oza. Another one in the slot. Didn't quite time that too well on that occasion. It'll just be a single.
Really feel that I think with that 100, Esha Oza might have just cemented that player of the tournament position. She will have an extra opportunity in comparison to Rasangika Harat, and that's something that makes a difference. Driven straight to long off will be a single for Samara.
197 on board. 3 runs to get to past the 200 figure mark. Esha Oza on strike. Goes down the ground, but straight to the fielder. It'll be a single to close out the over number 20.
198 for the loss of 1 UAE. I think they've done the job by getting those runs on the board. Esha Oza, take a bow. What a player she's been for UAE over the years. It was 3 years ago when she got 158 not out. That was on the next day or the next day after Rasangika Harat got 161 not out. She missed out on an opportunity to be the second highest individual scorer in the women's T20I. But this is how it all panned out.
Well, started off really well. Tirtha Satish taking the attack, leading from the front initially in the power play, getting those runs quite comfortably, scoring runs to all corners of the park. Quite elegant and technically sound batter was Tirtha. Was unlucky the way she got dismissed. But I tell you what, they laid the foundation in the power play. Tirtha Satish scoring bulk of the runs.
And that's where the pressure was already built on. A little bit of a deflection from the foot of Taranga Gajanaike, and Tirtha Satish was back to the dugout in one of those most unfortunate circumstances. But Esha Oza continued to dominate the proceedings with Samara Dharnidharka. She was shuffling across the wickets. She was taking the attack to the opposition. Samara Dharnidharka on every odd opportunity was scoring boundaries as well, but it was an Esha Oza show here at the Oman Cricket Academy.
I quite like the way she's channeled herself really well. Initially, she was playing that second fiddle, and then after the departure of Tirtha Satish, she took that responsibility and she made sure she got bulk of runs, especially a lot of runs towards the onside, and getting that quite comfortably. And what we've also witnessed is that shuffle from Esha and getting those runs thick and fast for Team UAE. Runs to all corners of the park. Scoring against each and every bowler was Esha Oza. One straight down the ground. It has been brilliant approach by the batters of UAE, and in the end they managed to put up a wonderful show, scoring 198 runs in their allotted 20 overs.
Now it all came from the bat of Esha Oza. 102 of 68 not out. Tirtha Satish played a handy knock, 41 of 23 for her. She got out in a fashion that she wouldn't have wanted to. But Samara Dharnidharka stayed till the end to support Esha Oza. 36 not out for her of 31 deliveries. Extras 19. And that's where 198 on the board for the loss of 1.
Bowling card, bit expensive, was Pavitra Shetty. None for 37. Rachel D'Souza came back strongly, but again giving away over 28 runs. Sadam Ali Bakshala, none for 37 for her. Taranga Gajanaike was quite expensive, none for 45. Sudeshika gave away 20 runs, the pick of the bowlers of the lot of Bahrain. And Rasangika Harat, the skipper, giving away 29 runs. 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 Right then, we'll dive into a short break and we will come back with the live coverage of the run chase.
So welcome back at the Oman Cricket Academy building for the Gulf Women's T20 tournament. The match is underway between UAE and Bahrain. UAE scored a mammoth score of 198 with some absolutely outstanding batting from the skipper of UAE, Esha Oza. Brilliant century from her. And now Bahrain, we will have to see how to chase. So with the chase with me, Rizwan, from here what you can see about the Bahrain's batting.
Well, they've got to get off to a flyer, Team Bahrain, if they have to chase this total down. 199 is what is required. Starts off well, slightly drifting onto the pads on that occasion. They need to score close to 10 runs and over.
Gajanaike is opening the slot for Bahrain. And we have to see. From UAE it is
Atige Silva into starting the proceedings from the Oman LNG end. 2 dot deliveries on the trot, and for the batting it will be Gajanaike and Rasika Rodrigo to open the innings for Team Bahrain. Looking at the field, deep square leg and deep third outside the 30-yard circle for Gajanaike. Good looking firm push down the ground, 3 dot deliveries on the trot, and they can feel that pressure, the batters of Bahrain.
definitely, yes, it's a mammoth target in front of them. And as you were correctly mentioned, that they have to start with a flyer. But of course, the opposition is UAE. Brilliant bowling from Atika Silva. Also, she got a lot of wickets in the earlier matches, though the opposition was not that much strong. But again, she is a very good bowler. So down the leg side, first wide.
First runs on board in the form of extras for Team Bahrain. Well, what I'm a firm believer is, Jamil, is whenever we talk about the power play, I talk about setting up a gamble. You need to have a batter whose striking rate is really well, who can get you those 10 to 12 runs and over in the power play, especially when you have 2 fielders patrolling outside the 30-yard circle. Another good delivery, brilliant from Silva, keeping things simple, barring that extra. She's been instrumental with the line and length.
Apart from the captain of Bahrain, Rasangika Harat, I think they don't have any batter who can match with the credentials of Rasangika. So chasing a target of 198, obviously, couple of batters has to come up with some good runs in their kitty. Try to smash it, and the moment the ball is come, castle the stumps, try to smash it, misses the ball, and the first wicket for Bahrain.
Forcing the error was Silva, trying to play across the line, succumbing to the dot ball pressure. Taranga Gajanayake will have to take a long walk back to the dugout. First wicket down for Bahrain. You're bowling with some intensity. You're playing across the line, and that movement inwards, dismantling the furniture. 1 for 1. The skipper walks out at number 3, Rasangika Herat. Well, she's been the leading scorer for Team Bahrain, has contributed with the bat as well as with the ball. She will have a role to play today.
Definitely. That is the quality of Rasangika. She's so confident, Rizwan. Always the first delivery she faced, right from the middle of the bat. End of over number 1. It is 2 for 1 Bahrain.
Good start for UAE with the ball as well, with the bat. Remember, they were 12 for none after first over. Silva bowling a brilliant first over. And Samaira has been given the responsibility to bowl from the Oman tail end.
Most impressive fast bowler in this tournament, Samara Dharnidharka. Absolutely brilliant bowler with the pace, excellent action, excellent length and line as well. Very difficult for the batters to play her. Smooth run up. Just open the face of the bat and brilliantly field it.
They're looking at the field for Rasangika Herat. They've got a long leg and a sweeper cover outside the 30-yard circle. And immediately, with the channel that Samaira is bowling, they've brought the long leg inside the circle and they've got a wideish deep third. And I think that's a right approach. Esha Oza.
Once again, right on the spot. Rasangika is very, very interested in playing onto the onside, most of them. Flicked of the toes, drive through mid-on and mid-wicket, and of course the beauty when she played a full-fledged shot outside the off stump towards the extra cover.
Although the results may not have been in their favour, but I'm pretty much optimistic, Jamil, that there's been a lot of learnings for these teams. Talking about Kuwait, we spoke about Kuwait and Saudi Arabia as well. Saudi Arabia losing all their league matches, but remember from what they came, it was an indoor team. They constructed that 4 months and they were up and running for the Gulf Women's T20I Championship. So when you have such platforms to come out and play, eventually over a period of time you will get to learn.
Intention is also required from the players itself, Rizwan. This time right from the face of the bat and they ran for the single. This is all about how passionate you are in the game, how much interest you took, how much you yourself do exercises that have been told to you by the coaches. So that's prime thing for that. But of course, we all hats off to Saudi team. Absolutely, they have done almost say about 100% more what they have than the last time that this Gulf Women Championship.
Well, it's all about the trainings. It's all about the work behind the scenes, not just playing in the nets. And as a strengthening coach, assistant coach and the lead coach, they always say it's more or less preparing them 75% mentally to be strong when you come out to play. Another brilliant delivery from Samaira, keeping things simple, keeping things tight, letting the ball do the talking.
At the stage, from where this UAE team comes, the other teams are obviously not catching up to the level that UAE has got. But again, I admire Oman especially in this particular tournament. They have really come up more than the expectations. Smashed it. And they go for the single. Especially the match Oman has played against Kuwait was absolutely clinical victory for Oman.
Well, we've seen Oman developing really well, especially the men's team as well. When they played the Asia Cup, they were almost close to defeating Team India, which obviously were the crown champions, barring that, talking about the under 19 team, men's team of Oman, which came out to be number 4 in the recently concluded ACC Men's Premier Cup under 19. This was a short pitch delivery, and Rasika pounces onto it, gets a boundary, the first boundary for Team Bahrain.
This is what I was talking about, Sangika. She is so keen to play onto the onside. It was short, pulled beautifully towards the cow's corner. End of over number 2. 2 for 1 Bahrain. I think Esha will continue to bowl. Got a wicket to her credit. Downton has smashed it beautifully from the meat of the bat through the extra cover. And they quickly crossed 2 runs. Good shot.
Yeah, showing some intent is Rodrigo on that occasion, where you need runs from both the ends to chase this total down. Rasangika Herat on the other end, and Rodrigo. Well, it's all about, as you rightly mentioned, it's the belief that you need to have that you can deliver, and on your day, if you're in a position, you will be able to tumble top teams. Esha Oza chasing that delivery down towards the extra cover region. It'll just be a single. Overall, Jameel, I would say a lot of learning for the rest of the teams. Talking about Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait. I was having a chat with the skipper. Was quite impressed. The coach as well. They're happy with the way the team has performed. Winning or losing is a part of the game, but it's the impact that you create and the key takeaways that you take along with you.
Well, I think the initiative has to be taken by the boards of respective Gulf countries like Oman. This is the second time we are hosting this tournament. I'm sure UAE must have done before. Bahrain has to do, Qatar also, Kuwait also. So if these things will be going on regularly, definitely the improvement will be there. Playing with each other, understanding with each other, more match practices, different type of bowlers to play, different batter to face. So all this happening, of course, is almost a learning process. I think once again outside the off stump. So this is all a learning. Oman, of course, done absolutely well, right from the under 19 and the men's team. They have almost qualified 4th time this time. They are qualifying for the World Cup T20.
Oh, absolutely, I fully echo with you, and especially when you have bilateral series against each other, or you tend to travel over. There's definitely a lot of learning, and you tend to play on different surfaces. Brilliant delivery yet again from Silva, keeping things crystal clear and tight. And I like the way on the previous delivery, Vaishnavi Mahesh fielding that was really traveling at a good speed, but she managed to hold on to it, saving a boundary for the team.
Well, I think all credit we give to Oman Cricket Board. The infrastructure they have got, one of the best in the world. Players have got all the top class international facilities being provided to them, coaching and everything. So that's the reason why Oman has come up so quickly in the international arena.
Yeah, I certainly remember the way they have transformed, the way they have made changes, the structural changes that were made, and those are yielding the results now. Yeah, I do remember in a semi-final clash. We will talk more about it. End of over number 3, 12 for 1, Bahrain.
This change in the bowling. Captain Esha, after playing that brilliant century, brought herself into the attack. Slow moving deliveries from us spinners. The first delivery absolutely spot on. Rather, it was a beauty. Quicker one into the stumps, rattle the stump. This is what Esha Oza is. Absolutely brilliant all-rounder.
Well, you can't keep her away from the limelight. She scored a century and she's taken the ball. First delivery, she picks up a wicket. What a outing for Esha Oza, trying to force the error. And the batter trying to play across the line. In the process, the ball dismantles the furniture. Rodrigo will have to depart after scoring 4 of 5. Bahrain are in trouble, 12 for 2.
Very, very difficult task ahead for Bahrain to climb up. But of course, what you call the spirit should be there as long as their keeper Rasangi Kaharat is on.
Well, it's a Herculean task from here on for Team Bahrain. As Sweeta Koda walks out to the center and gets off the mark straight away with a gentle push towards the long on region for a single.
I am really amazed at the development in the Oman's women cricket, Rizwan. From last, say, about 6-7 months, they have transformed into a very, very formidable side. Of course, not to the liking of UAE, but the match they have played against Kuwait and against Qatar and Bahrain absolutely looks how much improvement has been done in that team.
We just got to give it some time, Jamil, and as long as you can do that, I'm pretty much optimistic the team Oman will come out with flying colors. There's a lot of hard work that goes behind the scenes and they're working towards the right path, which has resulted in those desired results for the team.
Spot on, nicely bowled by Esha. And the hard work that has been put in by the coaches and the players itself, that is the area where we always like the Oman girls team. They have a lot of things in their education, played it out towards the wider mid wicket. What a single. They used to go to school and college and then take out time to come for the practice sessions. So it's, your own passion, how much you put in.
And at the same time, they've got to manage the academics as well, Jamil. And it's not going to be an easy job. You need to make sure you're staying focused, you're staying on top of everything. And they all are youngsters, mind you, probably in their early 20s, mid 20s. And it's not an easy one. We'll continue our conversation. 4 overs gone, 14 for 2 our team Bahrain.
Esha has all the fate in athlete Risalva that to bowl the third over. Credit to all the boards who have sent the teams here to play in this Gulf Women's T20I tournament. Nicely bowled into the stumps.
respecting the good deliveries is Rasangika Herat. And just to keep you all our viewers posted, Team UAE leading with 8 points, and right behind is Team Oman with 6 points, Kuwait at 6 as well. What Kuwait would be hoping is that Oman lose with a big margin so that they tend to qualify, but it is definitely looks like a Herculean task. And meanwhile, Rasangika Herat will have to walk back. A peach of a delivery from Silva cleans the timber up.
Once again, absolutely brilliant. Tiga Silva ball moves into the batter, between the bat and pad, rattles the stumps, and what a prize wicket for her. The captain of Bahrain, Rasangika Herat, back to the dugout. Wicket number 3 for Bahrain. In comes Sana Butt, the wicket keeper. At the time when Bahrain badly needing a good partnership. Suita Korda is there. She scored cup for France in the last matches, but not what you call good scores. The mainstay of Bahraini batter, Rasangika Herat, back to the dugout with a beauty from Atiga Silva.
Look at that delivery, that swing in the air and that movement as well off the surface. Bowling with lateral movement, Silva keeping the batters puzzled out at the centre. Sana Butt, the new batter, walking out to the centre. Huge and Herculean responsibility on her shoulders. Slip in place, and why not when you're able to get that away movement off the batter.
Played it out, some misfield there. It snatched 1 run. With those Gulf countries, women's teams continue to play matches, bilateral series with each other. Some team from outside the Gulf should come, or they can visit. Definitely it will enhance their capability to play more matches, and of course the experience will also be there.
Absolutely. Another brilliant delivery, staying within the tram line. And I'm quite impressed with the way she's letting the ball do the talking. Immaculate with lines and lengths. And she's able to get that purchase off the surface. Hitting the deck really hard is Shashikala.
Yes, she's actually trying to bowl in swinger and out swinger for the bat. Look at that one. Beautifully bowled once again. In there, moved outside the off stump, through to the bat of the batter. End of over number 5. It is 15 for 3 Bahrain. Captain will continue from the Oman tail end. Esha Oza. Highest scorer of this tournament. That's the one. She's trying, coming down, quicker one, beating the batter, straighter one.
But I quite like the way she's operating, Esha Oza, and she's got different release points as well. and the advantage of the height as well, that she can generate that extra bounce of that surface, mixing it up really well. Watch out for the slow ones that she can produce. A complete cricketer, Esha Oza.
All the varieties of a genuine spinners in her. Moving the ball away, tossing the ball in the air, quicker ones, armor one coming into the batter. Once again, look at that one on the spot.
I was talking about the leadership skills. You have a new batter out at the middle. They've had two fielders outside the 30-yard circle, one towards the deep square leg region and then one towards the long on. She's dropped that long on fielder inside the circle as mid-on, just trying to entice the batter to go after her. This is brilliant stuff from the skipper, Esha Oza. 4 dot deliveries on the trot.
She's just stacking the off stump. I believe a slip might help her because she's trying to bowl away from the batter at the stage. Fifth dot delivery from her.
And you have to be mindful when you're trying to play across the line against Esha Oza. If you tend to miss it, it will be curtains for the batter. A polite inquiry. Umpire says no. End of the over. End of power play. Bahrain are 15 for 3. Those are the highlights of the power play. Wickets. 3 wickets falling in the power play. Rattling the stumps was Shashikala. Brilliant display of talent and prowess from the bowlers of UAE. End of power play is a sign from the umpire. Just been updated by our co-commentator. Esha Oza becomes the first cricketer from the associate nations to go past 3,000 T20I runs.
Well, congratulations to her for achieving this great achievement on her behalf, and of course the UAE must be proud that the captain is among the top scorer of the associate countries. Nanda Kumar this time played it out nicely. The first boundary from the bat of the Bahrain.
Well, an outside edge. It was quick. All Sweeta was supposed to do was just get the bat involved, and an outside edge fetching them a boundary. Yeah, it was bowled with some pace, nibbing into the right-hander, and the ball finds the fence.
Hinduja Nandakumar also among the wickets in this tournament, has been told by our statistician, Mr. Pranav Mehta. 5 wickets she has taken. Once again, it's in there. Could have been in cotted bowl chance, but she has been through her run-up. What a time.
Good delivery. Straight to the fielder at the backward point region. No damage done. Oh, good delivery yet again. Well, I'm loving this contest here between Nandakumar and Sana, but that swing in the air and that movement off the surface.
Much to be done from Bahraini batters now. 3 top order batters bat into the dugout for Bahrain. Things looks to be very difficult from now on with the kind of bowling UAE has got.
Yeah, especially when you lose the top order, you've created the turbulence in the power play. And now it's up to the owners of the middle order batters to come out and display. But at the moment, the required run rate is mounting up. A bit sloppy on that occasion, was too casual, I must say. And in the process, Sana Butt scampers through for a single, which will bring us to the end of the over. 7 gone, 21 for 3. Esha Oza will continue into her third over, just given away 2 runs, picked up a wicket already. Keeping things tight, bowling in the power play and outside the power play. Just getting the bat on the ball is Sana, but 2 of 13 for her. Another brilliant delivery, marginally missing the stumps, inches away. This is laser precision bowling from Esha Oza, consistently hitting the right areas. Immediately conversation between the two batters. 3 dot deliveries on the trot. And joining me in the comm box is Pranav Mehta after a short break. Pranav, welcome back. We were entertained by the batting display of Esha Oza, and now she's come out to bowl and she's picked up a wicket already, and look at the number of runs she's given.
Certainly a player to be watching out for. She's only growing in stature by every passing day. Quality on offer. And look at that delivery. The best way to welcome me in the comm box. Esha Oza probably was the arm ball, just straight on with that angle, and no chance whatsoever for the wicketkeeper.
Well, she certainly is mixing it up really well. That was a quicker one from Esha Oza. She created that pressure, and succumbing to the pressure was Sana Butt. Look at that. Absolutely brilliant, spot on. Another one bites the dust. Sana is perplexed. She'll have to take a long walk back to the dugout. "21 for 4. Purvaja Jagdisha walks out to the center. as Team Bahrain are in all sorts of trouble.
If you have the services of somebody like Esha Oza, she's as good or equivalent to probably 5 players. A maiden wicket for Esha Oza. 21 for the loss of 4, Bahrain. Hinduja Nandkumar, 6 runs from a first over. She's got a little bit of opportunity in the last couple of games since UAE were trying their bench. But she has huge potential.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where we always talk about when you're getting those opportunities, you've got to grab it with 2 hands, make that statement that you're out to perform. Nandakumar doing well, just giving away those 6 runs in the first over, keeping things tight, and Esha Oza on the other end, creating havoc, contributing with the bat and now with the ball.
Almost feels as if survival is impossible for Bahrain at the moment. She's bowling a little shorter for my liking. I think she needs to go a little fuller.
Yeah, go a bit fuller, try to find the outside edge. You've got a slip in place. Rightly noted there. And I think still having participated in this Gulf Women's T20I Championship, we were talking about having a conversation with Jameel. A lot of positives for teams who came out to play in this tournament. A lot of learnings for them. And I'm pretty much optimistic in the next tournament, they will come much more stronger and much more prepared.
Rightly put. Two teams were almost out of contention. One was Saudi Arabia, which is in very early days, and the other is UAE. I think they are far apart. All the teams have struggled against UAE. But then when you talk about Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, in the air, in the gap, all those 4 sides have been pretty much balanced.
And I think with the passing of time, with a lot of tournaments that they will come up and play, probably quadrangular series, just like how you had before this tournament, probably some bilateral series will give them that confidence. You're absolutely spot on. They've got the skill set. It's all about getting polished, getting that international experience. And I think if you have those matches on regular basis, they should be coming with a lot more confidence. We'll continue our conversation. 9 overs gone, 23 for 4.
She's the bowler to watch out for. In my opinion, 2 bowlers would fancy their chances even against the senior men's. I know there's a big gap, but still, one is Vaishnavi Mahesh, the other has to be Michelle Botha. Look at that line and length.
Picture perfect. known to mix her deliveries really well is Vaishnavi Mahesh, as rightly pointed out. Well, coming from UAE, we've seen a lot of matches being played against universities as well. And I tell you what, Vaishnavi Mahesh, and there were a couple of other bowlers as well who've created a lot of problems for Tier 2 cricketers and Tier 1 cricketers back home in UAE.
I've been really interested in knowing that that's a straighter delivery. It's going to be very interesting. Vaishnavi Mahesh, it's almost bread and butter for her. That's how easy it is at the moment. GCC Women's T20I Championship 2025. Vaishnavi Mahesh is one of the finds.
Well, it took a bit of time initially to give the verdict, but I think it was definitely crashing onto the stumps. Easy decision for the umpire as Bahrain lose another wicket. Brilliant bowling from Vaishnavi Mahesh. Pitching in line, impact in line, wickets crashing. Good one from Vaishnavi Mahesh as the players head out for a drinks break.
Every time that you see the quality, the consistency of Vaishnavi Mahesh, you have to be in that awe moment. That's the quality of Vaishnavi Mahesh. Beating the outside edge. Wonder the number of deliveries that she would have bowled to get to this stage, to get this consistency. We have seen so many leg spinners bowling short, going full, but she's generally consistently at good length.
It's all about the practice, as you rightly mentioned. Doing that umpteenth number of times in the nets, consistently bowling. And I've got those targets that they aim at in the nets, and they tend to aim at it and bowl consistently, which makes them the master of spin bowling.
Too good. One, to be able to bowl that in the air, falling short of the fielder, it will be a single. One, to bowl that leg spinner from that same spot, and then to make sure that the flipper also works from the same spot. It's never easy for the batter when you're doing that on will, 10 overs done, 24 for the loss of 5 Bahrain. Michelle Botha. Every time that these two are bowling in tandem, it almost looks impossible for the opponent.
Yeah, they clearly put a lid on the scoring for sure. And besides that, they create that extra bit of pressure, allowing them to pick up wickets. Look at that delivery. And as you rightly pointed out and mentioned, Pranav, it's the release points remain the same. So as a batter, it's not very easy for you to judge which one is coming your way.
Timber disturbed. Michelle Botha, you can't keep her away from the game for too long. She comes into the attack, very second delivery, the arm ball. And Madhuvanti does not have an answer to that one for sure.
When you're bowling with that consistency, you will certainly be rewarded. And yet again, another new bowler in operation, and straight away, without any hesitation, picking up a wicket. Madhuvanti will have to walk back. Bahrain lose wicket number 6. And currently, they are in dire straits. Look at that delivery. They're playing across the line and hitting the timber.
Michelle Botha goes fuller once again. This time it's going to be finding the boundary, slides down the leg. Pavitra Shetty does like to sweep the ball, and this time she's going to accumulate 4 runs.
Getting off the mark in style is Pavitra Shetty. First delivery that she's facing up against Botha, wavered down the leg side. All she had to do is just get the bat on the ball, and a firm push towards the fine leg region fetches them a boundary. Straying onto the pads, going down the leg side, says the umpire. Another dot delivery. 100% success rate in the league stage so far for Team UAE.
And that's where it's going to stay. Because if someone is going to be telling me 171 runs are going to be chased down, struck well, it's going to be a single though. In the remaining 9.1 overs, when just 4 wickets are in hand, it's going to be impossible.
And I think the credit must be given to the entire coaching staff, the support staff of Team UAE, and getting them up to speed in such major tournaments.
So much to like about this UAE side. We'll talk more about it. 11 overs done, 29 for the loss of 6, Bahrain. Not a lot of opportunity for Vaishnavi Mahesh. As Katie Thompson comes into the attack, another left-arm spinner who's been incredible for UAE.
A direct throw would have caused some sort of turbulence on that occasion. And in the meanwhile, Pavitra Shetty picks up a couple of runs here. That was arm delivery from Thompson, just guiding you towards the backward point region for a couple of runs.
Katie Thompson once again looking to late cut. What impresses me about Oman is that obviously Bahrain has the services of Rasangika Harat, and she helps in developing the other players. UAE has a few of them. You obviously have Michelle Botha. Impacted and given. At the moment it is all so easy. On this occasion, Katie Thompson bowls a straighter delivery, which was missed by Pavitra Shetty and struck right in front of the stumps. No two thoughts for the umpire.
Well, they've referred it upstairs. They've gone for a review. It'll be interesting to see that. Probably the height factor. Not too sure. We'll have a look into it.
No problems whatsoever there. Tinge of grass and the ball skids on. A little too quick for the liking of Pavitra Shetty.
Is there an inside edge?
That's the only factor that can save Pavitra Shetty here from those visuals.
Looks quite close to the bat. Straight away, without hesitation, she went for the review.
I really feel that's a corner. This will tell us more about it. No reactions whatsoever from Nick Sense. That means that Pavitra Shetty will need a miracle to survive this one. Impacted on the back foot. That's the problem.
Yeah, flat line all the way through and impact in line. Wickets hitting. Review is lost. Pavitra will have to walk back. A good decision by the umpire. Bahrain lose wicket number 7.
Don't really think that any team has been able to get past 50 against UAE in this tournament. That's how professional the approach from UAE has been. Sadam Ali Bakshala comes to the middle, and she's going to be partnering Speeta Koda. The spin trio, that's been the problem. Katie Thompson, Michelle Botha, Vaishnavi Mahesh, 3 very good quality spinners.
Quite impressive. Straight down. Was there an opportunity that was hit with some brute force? I reckon that was an opportunity.
2 left-arm spinners, Katie Thompson, Michelle Botha. Why not? When your coach is a left-arm spinner, Ahmed Raza fends this one, Sadam Ali Bakshala.
brilliant display of spin bowling from the bowlers of UAE. Vaishnavi, Michelle, Katie now, they all are responding to the call of the captain. Single to close out the over number 12, 32 for 7.
Vaishnavi Mahesh, 1 for 1 in the first over, will come into the attack now from the Oman LNG end. I think a little more turn on offer from this side. You can't be heaving across the line to Vaishnavi Mahesh with the kind of revs she puts on the ball. Not able to make some good connection on the ball at the moment is Sadam Ali Bakshala. Completely in control of the game is UAE at the moment. Big shot in the air. Fielder won't be able to get underneath it. And in the process, Bahrain have found a way to get a single. Sadam Ali Bakshala will take a big sigh of relief as she gets to the non-striker's end. Flipper. Well played by Sweetakoda. Now with 25 years of experience, if I'm not able to tell the difference between that flipper and the stock delivery, I'm almost certainly sure that none of these batters are able to pick the difference between the flipper and the stock delivery. Because one thing is for sure, her action doesn't change. And those quick hands doesn't allow you to read the variation. Just one run from that over of Vaishnavi Mahesh. 13 overs done, 33 for the loss of 7 Bahrain. Michelle Botha struck well straight down the ground. It will be a single for Sadam Ali Bakshala. She can strike the ball, but at the moment the ask is way too much for her liking. 165 in those remaining 7 overs. Dot ball. What what it means is that every ball needs to be a boundary, and still Bahrain will fall short of the target. In the air, finds the gap. Couple of runs for Bahrain with that outside edge. Flighted and played well by Sweetakoda. Such a handy customer to have up your ranks, Michelle Botha. Keeps it very tight. Has some decent variations. Dot ball will wind that over. So 3 runs from the over of Michelle Botha. 14 overs done, 36 for the loss of 7.
Fourteenth over done, 36 for 7. Total domination from UAE bowlers. And early in the day, it was their batters, spearheaded by Esha Oza, who scored a brilliant century, to her credit. It's K. Thompson is bowling. Looking for 2. So by is declared by the first boundary. Nicely bowled by Katie Thompson. Played it back to the bowler. So one way affair as far as the UAE concerned. In the slot, played it beautifully. What a brilliant fielding right on the fence. Certain boundary has been stopped by the UAE fielder. Some runs comes from Sweetakoda. And it is Bakshala who is doing the job for Bahrain. Played it back. End of over number 15. It is 41 for 7 Bahrain. UAE captain wants to wrap up early. Bringing back Sumaya Dharnidharka, who has bowled 1 over and given away 7 runs. And try to smash it. She is so accurate, Sumaya Dharnidharka, that very difficult for batter to hit across. Brilliant all-rounder. Once again, played with the bottom part of the bat.
I really feel that they have done extremely well, Bahrain, considering the current situation. Good late movement for Sumaya Dharnidharka. She has the wind to her assistance, so there will be a little bit of late inward movement into the right-hander. Let's not forget the next encounter is the one to watch out for. Very quick, finger goes up. Saddam Ali Bakshala probably got a little bit of glove onto that one. And the keeper, Satish, is never going to be missing out on that one.
But talking about Dharnidharka, absolutely brilliant ball it was. In the slot, caught an edge, and it was taken by the wicket. Look at that one. Moving slightly inside the bat, and nicely taken by the keeper. And umpire has just raised his finger. So wicket number 8 down for Bahrain, 41 for 8. Dharnidharka into the ground now. Well, the match of the day will be followed by this match. This is between Oman and Qatar. A cliffhanger. Both the teams are almost equally poised. So the team who better play will definitely go through. And this is another wicket by Dharnidharka outside the off moving away. And I think Dharnidharka tried to cut it, just waiting heads of the cover point. Wicket number 9, back to the dugout.
Got big on her. Not much that Sudeshika Dharnidharka could have done. Michelle Botha is a handy sports person. Never going to be missing out on something as simple as that. On a hat trick, Sumaya Dharnidharka. She'll be up against the number 11, and that's where she will fancy her chances on that hat trick. Big movement in this game. Sumaya Dharnidharka, 7 for 2 in a 1.5 overs. That does not matter. 41 for 9 Bahrain. That also doesn't matter. What matters is that Samara Dharnidharka is on a hat trick. Everybody inside the circle. Rachel D'Souza is going to be up on strike, up against her. Has to be full. Certainly should have had a slip there. Catching cover, catching mid-wicket. It is going to be curtains. I feel it is going to be a curtains. The second hat-trick of this tournament. Samara Dharnidharka on this occasion. It's going to be reviewed. But late swing for Samara Dharnidharka. And that is where I thought that it was always going to be curtains for Bahrain.
Absolutely brilliant stuff from Dharnidharka. After batting so nicely, came back strongly. Possibly the second hat-trick of this tournament. This is right fair delivery. Moving into the batter. Well, I think it looks like to be a goner. Absolutely looks to be plumb. But what a spell from Dharnidharka. The second hat-trick of this tournament. One has been done by Rasangika Amerat of Bahrain. And this time it is Dharnidharka of UAE. What an outstanding performance from UAE. First it was batters, spearheaded by their captain Esha Oza, who scored 100. This time, yes, outside, off, in line, hitting the stumps.
What a moment for the young Samara Dharnidharka. She's got runs with the bat and now she's picked up a hat-trick. A moment that Samara Dharnidharka is going to be remembering for the rest of her life. Bahrain 41 all out. Never in contention to UAE's 198 for the loss of 1. And that's been the case. No team whatsoever, whether it is Saudi Arabia, whether it is Oman, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, they've all just not been able to contend. And this is how it all panned out. Hinduja getting an early wicket. In came Samara Dharnidharka and she was taken apart by the captain, Rasangika Amerat. Esha Oza didn't have to wait for too long. Hinduja was picking up wickets. And that is where a little bit of advantage for Bahrain, but not for too long, as Esha Oza was too good. Vaishnavi Mahesh and her arm ball was never to be picked. Neither was the arm ball of Michelle Botha. The quality was just too good for Bahrain. Katie Thompson came into the attack. She was happy to acknowledge a wicket for herself as well. Bahrain did get a few boundaries every now and then. Samara then had the dream 3 deliveries. The first one was caught behind. The second one was caught by Michelle Botha. And the third one, she didn't need any assistance because trapped right in front of the stumps. No chance whatsoever for the Bahraini batters. A dream moment for the young Samara Dharnidharka, who is making tremors here at the Oman Cricket Academy.
Looking at the batting order, no batter can cross over the double figure mark. It is 41 all out, 7 runs to Rasangika Amerat, the captain. And only 9 run not out by Suita Koda. No other batter could cross the double figures. It is just like a telephone number, 47921178. 41 all out, 2 extras, 16 overs been completed. About the bowling, it was brilliant bowling from the Atige Salva, got 2 for 6, and Samara Dharnidharka, the hat-trick, second hat-trick of the tournament, 3 wickets for just 7 runs. Esha, 2 for 2, and 1 wicket each apart from Mahesh 1, Botha 1, and KT Thompson 1. So all out Bahrain, 41 for 10 in just 16 overs. The match summary: UAE opted to bat first. It scored 198 for 1. Brilliant 100 from the captain Esha Oza, 102 in just 60 deliveries. Equally nice batting by Satish, 41 of 23. And Dharnidharka once again showed her class as a batter, 36 of 31. And no wicket has been taken in the Bahrain side.
Certainly, UAE just too good for Bahrain on the given day. We'll take a break in the com box. On the other side, Rizwan is waiting with the player of the match and the post-match presentation.
To the post-match presentation of the match played between UAE and Bahrain in the ongoing Gulf Women's T20I Championship. Opting to bat first after winning the toss, UAE managed to score 198 in their allotted 20 overs. Tirtha Satish laid the foundation in the power play, but it was then Esha Oza who took over and scored a magnificent century alongside Samaira. Well, in response, Bahrain were bundled out for just 41 runs. I would now like to request the skipper of Bahrain, Rasangika Herat, to have a chat with us, please. Tough luck today. Tell us what went wrong.
Yes, we have to, a lot of things we learned this in tournament. We have to learn our batting, bowling and all the three parts. We have to learn lot things we have to do, improve ourselves and next tournament.
Talk us about the experience when you're playing up against quality sides like UAE.
Yes, they are a very good team in the Gulf. Their batting lineup, bowling lineup, everything is very good. We are happy to play with them in this tournament. I think we are is better playing with them.
Talk us about your personal form as well, Rasangika.
Yes, of course. I'm happy to my performance in this tournament. That is good for me. But I want to take my other players also like me. I want to give them to go with me as a me.
What is the roadmap ahead for you guys?
Sorry?
What is the roadmap ahead for your team?
Yes, we have to improve ourselves in batting, bowling. These the things in next tournament. Before we have to, as a team, we have to work everything. Lot of things we have to work with every part.
Well, thank you for talking to us and good luck for your future assignments.
Thank you for the Oman Cricket giving this opportunity for us. This is good, very good tournament for us. For the upcoming tournaments, we have learned a lot of things in this tournament. Thank you, Oman Cricket and our BCF, our board.
Thank you very much. Well, that was Rasangika Herat, the skipper of the team Bahrain. I would now like to request our match referee, Mr. Ram Mohan, to please come forward, as it's time for us to honor the player of the match, and it goes to none other than Esha Oza for her magnificent century, scoring 102 of just 68 deliveries and picking up a couple of wickets today. Absolutely complete all-round performance from Esha Oza. Esha, everything going right your way. 3,000 T20I runs and magnificent performance today.
Yeah, I think I was struggling a bit at the start, but the way Tirtha got off the mark, I think she helped me take my time into the innings, and yeah, I mean that's how team sport is, I think.
Well, she's took the power play over. Then after the departure, you took over. Talk us about the surface. How did it behave when you went out to bat?
So the surface is pretty good to bat, but I think the bowlers were trying to slow it down, so it's harder for us to hit. So that's why it became a bit harder to get some runs and hit above them, because the slower you bowl, it was staying a bit low as well, so it wasn't coming onto the bat as nicely as it could have.
Well, you've been traveling to different parts of the world. How do you get adapted to various conditions?
I think our coach plays a big part in that. He's played across the world as well, so he keeps on giving us inputs on different places, different surfaces, and then we come early, we train, and then we understand from that as well.
The big final tomorrow, are you all guys set up?
Yeah, we're really excited for that game.
Well, good luck for the grand finale.
Thank you, sir.
Well, that is Esha Oza, the skipper of UAE, who is the player of the match as well. That's all we have from the post-match presentation.